Software engineers, web developers, programmers, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I will be interacting with the M-Pesa Daraja 2.0 API from Safaricom, and without further ado, let me just get into it. So to give credit, I was following Umeskia Software's generate access token, which is the first thing that you need to do, and he did his implementation in PHP to generate the access token to be able to consume the API. But in this video I'll be doing it in Python. So yeah, just to get out of the way, he's a very good he has very good explainer videos. I just followed through and just said let me just implement it in Python just to see how things look like when I do it in Python. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So the first thing you need to do is to log in. So I had some issues logging in with the password. It keeps logging out, but I was able to get back in there and come in. I went into, you check into the APIs part, then you go to authorization. When you go in there, they have like a lot of, they have like, it's documented everything. So this is the link that we are interested in, so make sure to copy that because you're gonna use it. Then after you've done that, you'll go to my apps, right? To go to my apps, hold on a bit, you go to my apps, you'll create, I was just testing I was just testing this a while ago, but this is the one that you're gonna use, the M-Pesa API dev narrative. So this is the one that you're gonna be we're going to be using. I set it up and we've got our consumer key. You just do a create new app, you give it an app name, and you check the boxes that you want to use at the time when you're consuming the API. There are various there are various processes that occur when you are developing and trying to consume the M-Pesa API. So depending on what you're trying to do, you just tick the boxes where appropriate. So but for me in this case, I just decided just to take everything because I just want to just create one app that I can be able to just use continuously. So with that one, I created it, I clicked all the check boxes, and we got our app here. So we have the credentials here, we got the consumer key, got the consumer secret, which are going to be very important as we go through. So when you've done that, you remember that link that we had that I showed you earlier, this one. This is the one you're going to use. All right, now let's go back, let's go to our VS Code where we are coding things. So as you can see on the screen, let me just enlarge this one a bit. Right, I'll just scroll through. So this is the Python implementation that you used. Then we used requests, use requests in there. Then you remember the consumer key and consumer secrets. This is the one that we got from the app that we created. Let me show you. So the app that we created initially in the M-Pesa Daraja API online. So this is the consumer key and consumer secret that you're getting. Then we have this access token URL. So the access token URL is in here in the, go check the APIs, then you go to authorization, you check authorization. This is the one that you're using, this is the get request. Then with that one, we just go into just giving a rundown on what we did here. So we did the imports, we did an import of requests, as you can see at the top, there. Then this line imports the request library, which is a Python module for making HTTP requests to web services. So that's actually one important thing. And you even had to do a pip install requests so that you can be able to use it. Then from requests .auth import HTTP basic auth. So you can see that line, this line imports the HTTP basic auth class from the request.auth module, which is used for basic authentication with a username and password. So there's that. Then we've got our credentials of the consumer key and the consumer secret, that when you create the app online in the Daraja, in you log in and you create an app, you get those two. Then the access token URL, for this case is authorization that I've shown you from the sandbox in the Safaricom website for the M-Pesa API. Then you can see the headers. You see the headers part. Headers equals to content type, the application.json. That, so this line creates a dictionary to store the HTTP headers that will be sent to the request. So the content type header specifies the format of the data being sent, so JSON in this case. So there's that. So we're preparing that headers there, we're preparing the headers there. Then we've got the auth, so we're preparing the authentication. So in that line, this line creates the HTTP basic auth object to your consumer key and consumer secret, which will be used to authenticate your request to the API. So that was actually a bit challenging to be able to like see how it's going to be used when I was just doing it on the fly. Then we have the API request. So we've got make a request to the Safaricom API. So that line, this line sends a GET request to the API endpoint specified in the access token URL that we pinned on top. In this case, it's the authorization to get the access token. It includes the header specified in the headers dictionary and uses the auth object for authentication. So there was actually one of those. Actually, that part also was a bit I had to do a bit of research on that so I can get an explanation for it. Then response handling, of course you have to put like a couple of if statements there. So if the response is status code 200, it gives us the access token, and if we don't get it, it will print fail to get access token. So when I started, I was getting this fail to get access token a lot, and it was mainly due to these two lines of code that we had to write. I wasn't doing it right here, and with that one you can even test it out, and I actually got the access token. So hold on, I even put it all on GitHub. Then you get your access token right here. So this down that you're going to paste, and you're going to use it as you continue on in this series. So it was actually quite informative to do that, and I look forward to like just making a ton of content on this just to explain like how things were happening and were going down. So yeah, man, if you guys like the video, make sure you leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think. I got the inspiration to do this from Umeskia Softwares, and I feel like he has done a good job in explaining it, especially when he was implementing it in PHP. But for me, I like to implement such type of logic in Python. Then I just said, let me just go ahead and just use Python to create a good implementation on it, and I did. So yeah, man, so if you haven't subscribed to his channel, make sure to go subscribe to him as well, and also subscribe to my channel as well, because a ton of content is coming my way, and you can see even they not logged out because this thing times out. So yeah, man, happy coding. I'm out.